Welcome back, everybody. I recently won 9 lots at an out-of-state online auction. Apparently everything fit in this one box. So let's take a look at what we have, and towards the end of the video I'll tell you what I paid, and we'll go over the fees and shipping as well. Okay, the first lot we're going to go over is 361. It's listed as 2 body hammers. I paid 21 plus fees. And these are the 2 hammers. This one is so taped up that I don't know if it has a brand on it. I couldn't find a brand on the head. It could be there somewhere, I suppose. And then the second one here, the handle's marked New Britain. I think it says H53. So the faces could probably be cleaned up a bit. Now, it might seem like $21 to spend on these 2 hammers is a lot, which I wouldn't totally disagree. But if you ever look at body hammers, good ones, they get pretty expensive. Okay, the next lot up is 372. It's listed as a 15-inch chain wrench and vice grip chain wrench, $11 for both. And here's the 2 chain wrenches. First one here is the old school vice grip, the Peterson vice grip. It's a 20-R. Looks to be in pretty good shape. And then the other one we have here is the Diamond Horseshoe. It's a 15-inch CW15. So $11 for these 2 is a pretty good deal, because without looking any of these up, these usually go for $30 to $50 each. So that was a pretty good deal. Okay, next up was lot 482. It's described as Cornwell long open end wrenches. I paid $24. There's 9 wrenches in this lot. I have a tape measure out here just to show how long they are. The longest there is a 7/8, and it's about 14 inches. I thought they were unique because I've just never seen them this long. I thought they could definitely come in handy. They are actually made by Cornwell. And if we look at this one on the end, I believe this is for some sort of a brake adjustment or brake bleeder maybe. I'll have to look it up, but I've had a wrench like that before where it has a real narrow but deep open end. And I believe that was for some sort of brake adjustment. Alright, the next lot up is actually more of the same. Lot 485 is Cornwell Bonnie Plum long open end wrenches. This lot was only $10. And so this one is 4 more of these long sort of tappet wrenches. These 2 on the end here are Bonnie's. This one I think is the Cornwell. And then this is the Plum. I didn't see it in the photos, but this one here has a cracked open end. And without looking these up, I do believe that is for some sort of usage on brakes. The next lot I won was lot 487, described as Craftsman box end wrenches, 11/16 to 1 inch, and I paid $11 for these 3 wrenches. So here's the 3 wrenches from that lot. So these are the bigger sizes. These are the, I don't know, 15-degree offset. Of course, they're Craftsman USA. Now, I wouldn't normally buy something like this from an online auction, but since I've already won a few items, that's when I usually will buy a couple more that I figure are going to fit in the same boxes as what I had bought up to that point. But even for what I paid, I mean, if you try to hunt down this bigger wrench, depending on who you buy it from, you might pay $25 for that one wrench. Okay, the next lot up is 489. It's just 1 wrench. It's Mac Tools, 1/2 inch, what they're calling a dogleg wrench. I paid $8 for this wrench. And here's that one. They had everything marked with blue painter's tape with the lot number they had on it. That's why you see the tape on there. So there's an older Mac Tools wrench. And this is what some people might call an obstruction wrench. But this one is actually, I believe, what they would consider a fan clutch wrench, for reaching down to pull off the bolts on a fan clutch. Okay, the next lot I bought was 496. This was listed as USA made flare nut wrenches, metric and standard, and I paid $11. So there was 7 wrenches in this lot. First one here is going to be a Craftsman 9 to 11 millimeter. And then we have a Craftsman 10 to 12 millimeter, Craftsman 13 to 14 millimeter, an SK 3/8 and 7/16, an SK 16 to 18 millimeter. And then we have a Blackhawk. It's a ZW 1215. This looks just like a Mac wrench. I thought it was a Mac wrench at first, and I know, you know, currently Blackhawk, Mac, Proto, Craftsman are all under the same umbrella. I don't know if they were back at this time, but man, I don't know who made the wrenches for who, but those look just like a Mac wrench. And then the last one we have here is a 5/8 11/16 Craftsman. All right, next up is lot 501. It's listed as Mac tool wrenches. I bought this lot for $11. Okay, first up in this lot is a 7/16 3/8 flare nut wrench. We have an old 9/16 Sabina wrench, some people might call it. It's one they used to mark them, I believe it's Sabina, Ohio. And we have a 1/2" Soltis flex head socket wrench. I have a slightly modified 13mm combination wrench. Could probably be straightened back out without too much effort. Next up is this 9/16. It's a combination with a 6-point box end. Next we have this 3/8 and 7/16 open end wrench. And finally we have a 1/4". It's an older marked Ohio, and that's a 6-point end, but I believe all the wrenches that were that small were 6-point. I don't think they made 12-point when they were this small. I could be wrong, but I don't know if I've ever seen a 12-point. And the last lot I bought was 502. This one says all US made specialty wrenches, Mac, Proto, Thorson, and I paid $13 for this lot. And as you can see, there's some real specialty wrenches in here that are custom made. First one up here is a Williams. It's a 3/8 7/16. I feel that that's been modified, although the way it's bent on the end here, I mean, I don't see any sort of evidence that it's been like heated. So I don't know, I'll look it up. Maybe this is how they sold it. I doubt it, but I'll look it up. But this next one is definitely modified. It's a Thorson 11/16. And this one is definitely modified. Thorson, somebody ground the end up, get a little more clearance. And then we have another one that's modified. That's a Proto Challenger 3/4. But the real reason why I bought this lot is for the last 3 wrenches here. Here's a little 1/2" 7/16 Proto, an obstruction wrench, although somebody ground on this one too. Still usable, but don't want to apply too much torque on that one. And next up, it's hard to read here, but I think this says Blue Point. I can't even tell what size it is. I'm sure they made this for just like one job. I do believe it was sold like this. I'll have to see if I can't get a part number off there and look it up. And then the final one in this lot is going to be this Mac. Again, this was sold this way. This is probably for one job or maybe a couple of jobs with very specific wrench. Likely something that there was a fastener made where only a wrench like this could get to it. So might have overpaid a little bit for this lot, but these 2 wrenches are probably worth about what I paid for the lot. So this is everything I received in that box. It was a total of 9 lots. I paid $120 hammer price. I paid $21.60 in fees. I paid $24.87 in shipping. So right around $166. Basically about 40% additional for the fees and shipping, but I think I got a pretty good deal overall. Definitely some good tools in here, definitely some unique tools. But that's going to be all for this one. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.